Can Jace Fox keep order in a Gotham City that has gone truly mad? Well, let's hop into the pages of Future State, the next Batman issue number 2, and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue actually left off, Jace in the guise of Batman comes upon the murder scene that we glimpsed in the final pages from issue 1. It's here John Ridley actually takes this opportunity to show us that this new Batman isn't nearly the detective that Bruce was, and in fact doesn't work with all the same technology either. Mostly because in this dark cyberpunk future, the Magistrate has a stranglehold on technology and could use it to trace Jace wherever he's hiding. Heck, just to get some security camera footage of the murder scene, Jace is forced to break into a nearby coffee shop, arguably committing another crime, all in an attempt to solve a murder. New Batman theorizes that this murder was pretty professional. The two assailants were waiting for the target, wore masks as to not be picked up by camera or the Magistrate. And while neither of the two assailants appeared to be trained at all, the level of sheer brutality and violence involved in the murder showed that they most definitely are capable of anything. Now, Jace in the guise of Batman may not have an Alfred, but as we discover this issue, he does indeed have someone in the chair, a Russian individual who he sends this footage to for more analyzation. Unfortunately, it's around this time too the Magistrate's rent-a-cops get wise to Jace's location, and he's forced to fight his way out. Batarangs don't do much against high-tech body armor. Unfortunately, Magistrate bullets work just fine against our new Batman, and he'll end up limping through the rest of the issue with a gunshot wound. Now from there, we actually take a very interesting diversion to check back on in with Jace and Luke's mom. We had discovered in the last issue that she was surprisingly pro-Magistrate, no doubt due to all the suffering the Fox family has come under, due in no small part to the relationship to the superhero community. Her objection to Mayor Nakano actually isn't that the Magistrate are executing people on site now, it's that legally it might not be able to hold up in court should anyone actually try and pursue the issue. And she's essentially been brought in to help toughen up the legalese involved in the new law. While she's working on that, she should also deal with a private military contractor working on American soil also being illegal, but that's neither here nor there. Of course, the cruel irony in all of this is that she has no idea the people she's helping are literally hunting her son at this very moment. Jace lies low for a bit to lick his wounds and wait for his tech guy to come back with some more information. It's also here he removes his mask for the first time, and no doubt if DC didn't already spoil the mystery of who the new Batman was, this panel probably would have been pretty amazing. Finding the two murderers is pretty difficult, as none of their bios are actually pinging any of the legacy villains, meaning that they're brand new. Eventually, though, Batman does manage to corner them. After a short battle, we soon discover that it's actually a man and a woman, a husband and wife team. Why did Fred and Ethel here suddenly decide to break bad one day? Well, as we discover, the corpse from earlier on in this issue actually belonged to a man who had lured their daughter from the internet before she went missing. The cops never found enough evidence to pin it on the dead guy, and the Magistrate, as we discover in this issue, actually has no interest in solving crimes, only executing people they view to be guilty. We also find out they were assisted in their murder by that mysterious individual that was alluded to in the first issue, some shadow criminal who helps regular everyday people plan crimes, but only once. Now, much like in the previous issue, Jace ends up finding himself in a rather interesting moral conundrum right here. Yes, these two are killers, yes, they broke the law, but wouldn't it be rich coming from another vigilante to tongue-lash two people about taking the law into their own hands? However, the new Batman may be saved a very tough choice, as it's at that moment the Magistrate ends up cornering all three of these people right now. They didn't care about the murder, but they definitely care about Batman. Now, that may be where the main story ends, but like a lot of these Future State books, we have two very, very meaty backups this week. The first involves Cassandra Cain Batgirl, star freedom fighter for the Gotham Resistance. She gets herself locked up in jail, but not just regular jail, a Magistrate prison that locks up both hero and villain alike. And wouldn't you know it, her cellmate just so happens to be another Batgirl, Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler. Though it would seem after forsaking the Bat family, forsaking superhero-dom, and losing an eye, Stephanie Brown has become quite cold and cruel. Traits that serve her very well in jail, as she has become essentially the de facto queenpin of this entire prison, ruling over the white hat heroes and the black coat villains simultaneously. We also discover that in the 5-year future that is future state, Cassandra Cain can just talk completely normal now and is over her muteness, but still uses it to her advantage, as not everyone knows that about her yet. Cassandra and Steph end up coming to blows and both get thrown in solitary confinement. It's here we discover that Steph didn't actually break bad, but is only pretending to, so she could go undercover with the villains and help undermine the Magistrate that way. Which actually makes perfect sense when we stop and consider that even though she is a superhero, her father was Cluemaster, a supervillain, meaning that she could very easily move between those two worlds. We also discover that Cassandra Cain had got herself arrested on purpose, all in an attempt to rescue Oracle, who has been sending the messages from somewhere deep inside the prison. This story ends with Cassandra and Steph starting one big prison riot so they can try and break Barbara out. Now, the third and final story in this pack belongs to the Gotham City Sirens, and it's an interesting take on an old concept. We have Poison Ivy and Catwoman stealing from the Magistrate, A, to undermine their control over Gotham, and B, to make some good money while they're at it. The two villainesses are also joined by a new character, DD, or Domestic Droid. She was built by an evil corporation that just so happens to be outfitting the Magistrate with cyberware for their soldiers, so she too has an invested interest in helping take them down. We also get introduced to a cool superhuman speakeasy where hero and villain actually party side by side, and the bartender is Slam Bradley, aka the original detective of Detective Comics. Isn't that fun? And yeah, that's basically the backups for you. And so that was Future State the Next Batman issue number 2, and I gotta say, I'm enjoying where this Batman story is going, and I'm also enjoying the gravy that is the backups. I like that Jace really is an honest attempt at having a totally different type of Batman, one who is well trained in his own way, but not like super good at everything the way Bruce was. It's fun too to see the Fox family drama also taking place in the background of this story. And you know, before everything is said and done, we're going to see Jace have to come face to face with his mother and his brother over all the choices they've made regarding the Magistrate and the Gotham occupation, and you know that's going to be good. I like the moral complexity that is going on in this dark future. How does one be a hero? How does one fight crime? When the very justice system itself is completely and utterly corrupted and perverted by the Magistrate every moment of every day. Nick Darrington continues to kill it on art duty. It's not every day you see such a rising star poised to be a legend in his own right any day now. Overall, I'd give this one a very positive 8 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow, and help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.